downstairs, the Haganah is just an idea in the head of Eliyahu Golom. And now we're going to see how this idea came to reality. I said, like, you know, in the First World War, Eretz Israel was conquered by the British in 1917, and in 1920 the rule of the British Mandate was officially started. And at the beginning, most of the people thought that, well, an defense organization is in no need because the British are here and they're much more. They're in favor of the Jews, you know, the Balfour Declaration in 1970. So it's not like the Turks. We don't need a separate defense organization because the British are going to do that for us. But very soon they found out that that wasn't the situation, that they would have to defend themselves, because in exactly the same year which in the British rule started, 1920, also started a very large-scale attacks on Jewish settlements. It's called the Meoraot. There's a band.
Riots? Not the riots.
It's not riots. It wasn't riots, but it was a lot of attacks. Incidents where Jews were killed by local Arabs, and that was the time that Eliyahu Golom and his friend realized that they had to do things on their own. No one would be there for us. We have to be there for ourselves. And this is the time where they founded the Haganah organization. And you can see behind me some pictures of members of the Haganah. And you can see that it's very, what's unique about the Haganah, you know, of course the Haganah was an underground organization. The British, they never allowed the Haganah to, it was illegal. It was an illegal organization. And so they didn't wear uniforms, and of course they didn't go with their weapons. That was, of course, very dangerous because the British could catch you and put you in prison. And so, because it was an underground organization, the principle of to volunteer was very important, because there was no law. Unlike today in IDF, there was no law that made you go to Haganah. It was only based on your wish to contribute and to defend the Jews in Eretz Israel. So it was all based on the basis of they all volunteered, and you can see that it's very. There is a lot of different kinds of people. You can see that there were also women in the Haganah, which wasn't clear that there were going to be women. Think of it, it's a military organization, so to have women there, it's not something that's very common, but there were women in the Haganah. And there were also, you know, like Sephardim and Ashkenazim and religious people and non-religious people. They all came and volunteered to this organization, which became the main defense organization in the years prior to the establishment of the State of Israel. And here you can see, I hope most of you can see the symbol here? Mm-hmm. Now come closer. You can see the symbol of the Haganah. And that's the symbol and its main principles. Because you can see on one hand the sword, right? Which, what does it mean? It's simple. Right, defense, that we can take arms if that's what needed. We can defend ourselves with force. But on the other hand, you can see
the olive branch.
Right, the olive, because because we still, the Haganah people didn't just go and attacked our villages out of revenge or something like that. It was all based on their basic wish of peace inherent. It was all based on defense, right? Because think of the names, defense. And the basic wish was to defend the Jews that live here and not attack the Arabs that live here. And we're going to see now, I can't tell you everything about the Haganah organization, but it did a lot of things during its years, but I'm going to speak about two main projects of the Haganah, one of the illegal immigration, and one of, well, actually we're here 2 days before Independence Day, so one is the Independence War.